Okay, so today's class is about fearless, how to play with your oils. How many times have you gotten something that you thought you really wanted and you put it away in the closet, like I'll just deal with this later. I don't know really how to use it. Um, has there been anything that you've done that? Stacy, yeah, it's here. Can you hear me? You only see the fearless screen. You should see in the upper right-hand corner, if you're on your phone, you should see me like way up there, tiny in the upper right-hand corner. Hi, Dawn. She's like, where is there a video? I only see the fearless screen. That's all we're doing yet. Haven't moved on yet. So yeah, I mean, there have been some kitchen gadgets that I've gotten. I got my air fryer, and I thought, oh, this is really cool. I want to get this. And then I spent the money and I got it and I set it pretty on my shelf. I'm like, I don't know how to use this. And so I had to go and start looking up YouTube videos and things like that because the instructions weren't very good. Yeah, you see me. Yeah, it's tiny up there in the corner if you're on your phone. So anything else you can type in? Oh, I see you guys are typing in the chat and I'm not seeing it. Okay, that bottle will be perfect for you. You don't know how to use frankincense and thieves. That's not silly, Charlie. That's good. Um, when I first got my starter kit, I did not know how to use Valor. I was like, okay, so what I would do is I was all NingXia red. I got my starter kit with my Young Living essential oils, and then it came with Valor, the original Valor. And then every 6 months or so, I would restock my oils using my points that I saved up from loyalty rewards. And there was a kit, I think we still have it. It's like an everyday oils kit. It had all of those oils I could restock, and it always came with Valor. And I didn't know what to do with it. So I just kept sticking the Valor away, and I had like 10 bottles of it. By the time we didn't have access to Valor with the original blend of it, I had all these bottles, and everybody was crying for them, like, maybe I should figure out how to use these, right? Okay, so, and then Quran, I think it's Quran that says Elemi oil. Yeah, that's a good skin oil. So we we could probably talk about frankincense and thieves. Elemi, I can tell you kind of how to do a little research on that to find it. So Stacy says, I want to know how to use oregano. Okay, so we'll go ahead and cover these questions towards the end. And we will have a to be continued on this topic because this is massive. We may have 2 or 3 parts to this. So you'll want to catch them each week for the next couple weeks after this so that we can cover everything. Okay, Core 5 classes. Last year at the end of the year, November and December, we were offering the Core 5 classes, and we were giving away a free diffuser for anybody on our team that completed the Core 5 classes by the end of December. And there were only 5 of you that did that. Oh my goodness. I'm like, what? So I'm thinking, I haven't made a decision, but I do want everybody to do the Core 5 because they pretty much cover all of the basics, like the main product lines that we have. So if you don't know, I know if you're on your phone, you may not be able to get this until you can scan it. If you're on your computer, then you can scan the QR code, but you can also go look for my YouTube, and I've got it kind of posted in different places. If you can't find it, let me know. I have the Core 5 classes under the Wellness Wednesday playlist. You'll want to go do that, catch up with those, and watch out for a promotion. I'll promote something for completing those for our team. All right, so let's get into this. All right, now make sure can you still see the Y screen, Charlie? Okay. All right, so the reason that we were doing the Core 5 classes, like I said, is getting all the basics down. We covered oils, we covered Thieves products, we covered NingXia Red, CBD. It was a deep dive into each of those. We even covered the kids class, and we gave you an alternative for the fifth class as being either oils of ancient scripture or the kids class. And a lot of you did both of them anyway. So I do have in the chat here, in the chat of the Zoom, I can give you all a link. And you're welcome to refer people to, if you're crossline, you can refer people to that link. Okay, it just made it like a picture. I don't know why it does that sometimes. So I don't know if that's helpful. But you can refer people to those classes just to get them the information. And I usually say, make sure you go to the person that invited you, okay? All right, so let's talk about your why. Why did you get started with Young Living, with the products that you got? What did you want to change? And what made you buy the starter bundle you bought? Because most of us start with the starter bundle. One of the starter bundles, it might be the NingXia Red starter bundle or essential oils or Thieves starter bundle. And we even have the Make a Shift kits, which are a little smaller. They're not as good of value as the premium starter bundles. But, if you're on a tight budget and you can only spend so much, it's better to get the Make a Shift kits where you still have a pretty good value and be able to stay within your budget. So there is a learning curve to oiling because you have to untrain everything that you've ever learned. You have to untrain all the habits that you have, untrain your connection to old smells, right? Like, who used to think that Pine Sol smelled good? And so some people in the background is like, I still think that, right? No. And because it's stuff you use for years and you have an emotional connection to them. Can you imagine, right? Like we're emotionally connected to toxins that we've had in our lives because, that was the smell of clean. So we have to reprogram that. And some of you may have to be willing to lose some social esteem, right? Like other people around you may be like, excuse me, you don't use bleach? What's your problem? Oh my goodness, there were arguments in the nursery when we were homeschooling. And this is one of our biggest jokes with my friends, Heather and Tracy Cowald, about how I freaked out about bleach in the nursery. And they were like, why? That's what every daycare uses. Like, no, not for my kid. I don't want him sucking on bleach. So I was looking into those things back then. So let's face it, not everyone is going to think that you're sane. Has anybody experienced that already? People are just like, you're crazy. Why are you just using these weird things? Yeah. But the way to pull this off is simple. You have to know your why. Otherwise, you might get discouraged, right? So for me, my why is that I was tired of the industry telling me that everything was safe. Once I found out that things were not quite safe and that everything that was on the store shelves was like, hey, the government wouldn't let anything be on the store shelves that wasn't safe for me, right? The all natural cleaner that's on the shelf, they wouldn't let it not be all natural, right? No, that's not exactly true. So I got tired of government approvals of products that should never, ever be in anyone's home. I got tired of a toxic lifestyle. And I got to the point where I was just like, no, I'm not doing this with dangerous chemicals in my house anymore. My family will no longer be exposed to anything toxic that I can control within the four walls of my home. So I'm fairly sure that everybody here is on the same path with me because you probably wouldn't have gotten that starter bundle if you weren't, right? So let's learn together how you can move further from where you are to where you get to go in the future, right? We'll go through things step by step. But as I said, for those of you just joining us, hi, Kim. For those of you just joining us, we're going to make this into a 2 or 3 part series because otherwise we're going to be up till midnight talking about this. Maybe not quite so, but oh, Karan, let you back in. All right. So my heart, this is one of the reason that I do what I do is because I want to see my friends, the people that I make friends with, people that I come into contact with, I want to see them healthy, well, and whole. and doing what they were called and created to do without feeling exhausted, without feeling in pain all the time, and in the right frame of mind. Because I have so many people that come to me with brain fog. It's, it's a problem. It's a real problem. All right, so setting the stage for wellness so our bodies can do its work more effectively, so our bodies can be strong enough to correct the problems before we see the disease. One of the frustrations that I have with the medical system, now I'm not saying that the medical system is bad. They're very, very good at emergency medicine. We need them, and we wouldn't be the same without them. So many lives saved, right? But on the other side of it, one of the frustrations I have with the medical system in this country is that we're always fixing things after the fact instead of treating. Um, it's about treating disease instead of preventing it. So what if we lived in a world where we didn't have to treat things all the time, but we set the stage for our body to be strong enough to correct it in the first place? What if we flooded our systems with antibiotics? That's what we're already doing, right? With antioxidants and amino acids, like NingXia, right? What if we had correctly sourced protein, which is pure protein complete? Because a lot of proteins are not sourced correctly and they're indigestible, and we have all kinds of problems with it. What about greens? Greens sourced correctly, because you can have your vegetables and everything, but what if you need just a little extra? And remember, did y'all ever have like your parents doing barley green and all of those kind of green things? It's been around for a while. There is sourcing problems with a lot of those things, but we know that we have multi-greens and NingXia greens, and we know that we're in charge of the whole entire process, and that has a lot of science backing everything, every bit of it. What about enzymes? How many enzymes actually work on the market? They're not very effective, or they have weird stuff in them. So we have essential zyme, detoxzyme, allerzyme, great enzymes. We have omega-3s, omega-6s. There's problems with those. Go do your research on omega-3s and omega-6s. There are mercury issues with them. there are imbalances of what you're getting, like the sources that can cause a lot of problems, and multivitamins that are completely ineffective. We're going to talk about that a little bit. We have a product called Master Formula that is our multivitamin pack. So a lot of people that come in on NingXia and oils and cleaners might not know a whole lot about our supplements. I was actually pretty hesitant on supplements because I was trained in like traditional supplementation, and I didn't understand what the deal was with Young Living. When I heard whole food supplements, I'm like, yeah, right. You can't get everything. If you dehydrate food small enough, you still have to take 20 of them to get, in a day to get like your broccoli. But now I understand a little more, so we'll talk a little more about that. So when we have all of these things that are correctly sourced and effective, then our bodies can use them more effectively. It's not always about what you're cutting out. It's about the good things that you're putting in. It's about setting the stage for wellness. All right, so what we're doing here is kind of reviewing doing a bit of a recap of the core 5 classes of things that we learned, with a little more direction and where we're going with that, specifically to this is a little bit beyond the kit and basics all mixed together. Okay, so we've talked about this. You're the keeper of your home, right? So your family deserves more than the industry standards that lead us to sick care. Everybody, how many people around you have chronic illnesses? And they have lots of medications, pharmaceuticals, and stuff. Is it working? Why do you think so many people are coming to natural health care? They're looking for alternative options. And it's funny, I was talking to my friend Tracy Carlson. We did an interview with her last week. She is a functional nutritionist, and we were talking about alternative natural health care. This was the always health care. Why is it considered alternative when medical care for chronic illnesses and basic stuff that we should be able to take care of ourselves should be like the alternative, right? This should be what we normally do. So this all is about a mindset change to practical, preventable, and holistic maintenance. So this class is one of my favorites because it walks you through why Young Living is not a hobby, but a lifestyle. So, you know, when we first started getting our oils many years ago, it felt more like a hobby. And until we started to understand how effective it was for our bodies, what a big difference that it made. It's completely practical. And you should be oiling every day, multiple times a day in multiple ways. Young Living really changed my life. And I know I see several people here that I know that it changed their lives too. And so you're continuing to explore some of the other products to see, you know, what else can I incorporate and make some more changes and get healthier and healthier. So it's not just the 12 oils in the essential oil starter bundle, or even like, although NingXia Red is like a huge thing, raises the foundation of your health so you can start targeting the areas that are left to deal with. There's so much more. It goes way beyond just that. It's because of the mindset of preventative maintenance and holistic health that this is what we're doing. We're learning about this. It all makes sense. So if you look at certain companies that say they're organic or green, and you realize that it's a marketing ploy, that really ticks me off because we've spent money, right? We're looking for these things that we're like, this is going to be better for my family. And then you find out, oh, wait a minute, they're still using pesticides and herbicides. Why? Because it's approved for organic foods, or the crop is right next door to another crop that is spraying pesticides anyway. And how are you going to be, you know, organic crops can also get sprayed after they're done with the gardening, or the soil. You know, there's just all these things. If you go look into the USDA organic rules, you'll find out that it's just not as great as it seems. I'm not saying don't eat organic anymore. They're still better than not eating organic. So the minute you flip a bottle over and read their actual ingredients of any bottle that says it's all natural and everything, that's when you start to realize you have completely different standards than what those terms mean. So I don't want synthetic fragrances. If you see any bottle of anything that says fragrance, then you know you have synthetic fragrances in there and other things under the label that are hidden under fragrance, the trade secret. I don't want to have organic essential oil that's diluted and mixed with a tainted pesticide-laden carrier oil that's used to cut the cost. That's really kind of useless. And some people are like, but it's cheaper. Well, is it? How effective is that for you? And what kind of concentrated other stuff are you getting in there? I don't want 95% authenticity and 5% poison. I don't want words that I can't pronounce. Every ingredient matters because it goes straight to my liver. Every ingredient goes directly to my kids and my pets. I'm convinced that it's because I spent the last 14 years in Young Living and they've changed my vision. So when I read labels, I must see something completely different than what the companies are seeing. I see disclosure. And I'm not going to lower myself to the industry standards ever again. You become like completely different. Okay, so kind of reviewing a little bit about Young Living being different from other companies. And I'm not talking network marketing companies, I'm talking about everything. So Young Living is cutting edge. They're the first company with essential oil infused products that are over-the-counter approved. Do you know which ones those are? We have the acne cream. We have the Coolazole pain cream. We have Thieves cough drops. They're all over-the-counter approved, FDA over-the-counter approved. Insect repellent and mineral sunscreen, those are all OTC. So we have over 200 single oils and blends. And so we have more oils than any other company. I'm looking for my mouse, sorry. Like, where did my mouse go? I can't seem to make it work here. Is it like all over the place there? Oh, there it is. Okay. All right. We're the first one to generate smart spectrum CBD. How many of you watched the CBD class with Todd Clayton? Yeah, that was fascinating, wasn't it? It was so good. So the smart spectrum CBD uses terpenes in essential oils as a delivery system to make it bioavailable without the THC that makes you high. And that's held to the C to Seal premium standard. The innovation at Young Living goes on and on, starting with the C to Seal, which no one else in the world has. So so we're talking about like why is Young Living so different in everything that we do and the mindset. It's just all about the mindset that we're changing. No one has NingXia Red. That was one of our first products. It used to be called Berry Young Juice. So that's the only change it's made is the name. And there's no product remotely comparable to NingXia Red. And a lot of people here, Charlie, I know Debbie King, who else is here? Karan went on to Facebook Live. Yeah, I see that, Karan. It's okay. I know Teresa Gomez is here, Stacy, like all of you know that nothing is remotely comparable to these things, right? You've had a big change. Some of you have been in the rev up and it's like changed your life or you're on the path of that happening. So one of the big things, I used to call companies that had essential oils and be like, can I come visit your farm? They're like, we don't have a farm. Like, oh, where do you get your oils? Yeah, and they don't like that because I think people have been calling them a lot, asking them those kind of questions. They're like, why do we have to have a farm? What's the deal, right? Because nobody else has that. No one else has resources like a library of constituents, the oldest and largest on the globe that was built by tracking plants on 6 continents for 3 decades. They're like in different countries, they all come to Young Living to use that library of resources because we have such an extensive library. Our testing is unparalleled, and it's not just like our own lab testing. They're third party and all kinds of things. We have machines that our founder Gary Young developed that no other company has to this day. Gary distilled oils like Dorado Azul before anyone knew that it could be distilled. And when I think of this company, one word comes to mind: trendsetter. Gary Young is considered the modern day father of essential oils. All right. So now you chose the red pill, and now the whole world will look different and feel different as you continue to learn. You won't understand why others aren't getting it. Have you experienced that yet? Why don't they get it? And it can be frustrating because you see people that are so sick, they're in pain and they're miserable, and you want, like, okay, I'm the personality just wants to help somebody so much that it hurts my heart to see them reject something that could really change things for them. And I don't want to be all pushy and like I know everything or anything, but like give it a try. What if it changes everything for you? Because we've seen it happen. We've had people recently come and say, oh my gosh, I have no more pain after using NingXia Red for 10 days. Like, what is that? All the inflammation has gone away. Not all of it, but a lot, like so much of it has gone away that they have had a noticeable difference. So there's so many things like that. So whenever you get your starter bundle, it's the beginning of a different journey for your family. You'll start to feel frustrated with those around you and that aren't making the same choices because you see where the chemicals lead. You cannot poison your body day after day with toxic, oh, there's Leslie, with toxic ingredients and live a life without consequences of that decision. So because you get to choose, you see that and now you get to choose. You'll love walking into homes where Thieves soap is sitting on the bathroom. Sometimes there's events that we have, and some of the leaders of the events, they'll make sure they go to the bathrooms and replace the soap, or at least put the Thieves hand soap on the sinks. And we're like, oh, somebody cared. It's really cool to see it. You'll get headaches when you're walking into the grocery store and pass in the chemical cleaning aisles, air fresheners and plugins. Who avoids the cleaning aisle at the store? Like, just keep going. It smells so strong. But people that have been using the chemical cleaners, they are adapted to it. Like they can't smell it anymore. They just kind of smells clean, right? But when you stop using all of that, the chemicals, like your body is able to detox, then you're just like, whoa, what the heck? I can smell it walking down the street when people are drying their clothes. So it's a radical shift in the way that you take care of your family. Okay, so we're going to be walking through that together. Let's talk about, since I mentioned supplements here, let's talk about bioavailable supplements and where that kind of changed for me. My husband is a supplement guy. When he first saw NingXia in the fridge, he was like, he loved it. He wanted to guzzle this stuff. And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Hold on, buddy. We're not guzzling this. We're on a budget here. But so he loved that from the very beginning. When he started learning more about essential oils, he was just like, well, what else do we have? And he started looking into the supplements, and he's got some real go-tos that he always uses. So there are supplements that we use from the store, or not us, but we used to. We used to use Centrum and One a Day. And those are, they're just not good vitamins. They're cheap, sure, but they're cheap for a reason. They're not very effective. We used to call those toilet clinkers, especially the Centrum, because they're horse pills with so much calcium packed into them that your body can't even break it down, it goes all the way through. So when you're like, well, those are more expensive, I'm just going to get these cheap ones. Well, okay. What's better, flushing the money down the toilet or spending a little more on something that's actually working on your body, right? Okay. So you can take supplements from Young Living, knowing that every single day you're going to love it. You're going to feel the difference. So a lot of people have a hard time with change. I've been taking these forever. I've been taking these for 20 years. They never hurt me. Okay. How much money, like how much is a bottle of that? How often do you use it? And calculate that for all these years and let me know how much money you've spent. So make the switch to Young Living supplements. You'll want to kind of target what your needs are. So if you need some help with that, then let me know and we can work on that. So all Young Living supplements are infused with essential oils. That's what makes them so different. Without the oils, then your body's absorption rate is less than half of the supplement within a 24-hour period. With oils, it spikes to 86% in 1 hour. So the absorption rate increases dramatically because it has essential oils in it. This is called bioavailability. For example, clinical experience has shown that before putting essential oils into the multi-greens formula, there was a 42% blood absorption in 24 hours. After adding the essential oils into the formula, the blood absorption had increased to 64% in 30 minutes. That's pretty dramatic. And then 86% in 1 hour. The conclusion was that cells were now receiving the nutrients that they had not previously been able to assimilate. This is in the Essential Oils Desk Reference, first edition, page 205. So that's why you want supplements that are infused with essential oils. That's why you want to use cleaning products with Thieves, because it's more effective. And when you're walking around barefoot and your kids are crawling around on it, putting their hand, like, I don't know why babies like stick their tongue out and like lick the floor and things. They just do it. Toddlers, yeah, they do it. And then dogs, our dogs and cats, our pets, they absorb it right through their pads. So if you have cleaning products on the floor, they absorb it right into their bodies. So if you're using cleaning products with Thieves, then they're actually getting a health benefit from whatever they absorb. When you're using deodorant infused with like lemon and lavender, it's actually supporting your immune system rather than giving your liver more work to do to get toxins out. So it's not just about wearing deodorant or cleaning with toxins. Oils carry the beneficial ingredients from supplements and other products to every cell. The oils themselves are so tiny, they're like little cars. So they're carriers. They your body has to have a lipid carrier to get from the like in the intestines, for instance, where a lot of nutrients are absorbed through the walls of the intestines. They have to have a carrier to get them through the body to the cell. If they don't have a carrier, then they're not going to be carried anywhere. So essential oils provide that carrier. And they also help to unlock the cell doors, saying, oh, this is something that is nutrients for us. And so it's able to take it in. So again, it's not about oils healing the body. We've talked about that before. It's about giving you the tools, your body the tools to carry things to your body that support your body's systems, and then letting your body do its own healing as it's created to do. Your body is created to heal itself. It just needs the tools and the nutrients to do so. All right. So that's about our supplements. I love what Carla Green said. Carla Green is a Young Living Royal Crown Diamond in Canada. And she said, in 36 years of clinical practice using a wide variety of high-end nutritional supplements, I have had the best clinical results using nutritional supplements infused with therapeutic grade essential oils from Young Living. Clinical results are seen in 1/3 of the time of many of any other supplements that I have recommended. So that means it absorbs like 3 times faster. All right, and we've already talked about ditch and switch, right? We talked about that from the beginning. So why switch? Well, you can switch every product in your home. This quality and bioavailability and all of the things that we're talking about, the effectiveness, it applies to every product we have. We have skincare line with the Art skincare, which is for like anti-aging type of thing. The Bloom skincare, the Blossom skincare lines, all of those, and the seedling line for babies. Do you know that like Johnson and Johnson has awful stuff in the baby care products? Not very happy about that. It was one of the first things that tipped me off about this. Like, you put it in the baby products. We have the kids line. We have diffusers. So even our diffusers are higher quality. They are made to last and to work properly. And it doesn't, there's plastics and all those things. We have a whole diffuser class that we're going to be doing. We have massage oils. We have cleaning products, supplements, vitality cooking line. So those are vitality oils, sunscreen, insect repellent, everything is held to this standard. So it doesn't matter what you choose. Every oil infused product is better than what may be still in your cabinets right now. So I encourage you to go and look through your cabinets and make some decisions on some of those products if you haven't switched them out yet. You have 2 particularly good reasons to start cleaning out your cabinets. Number 1, if the stuff in your home is toxic, you don't want to be poisoning your family anymore. Number 2, even the products that you do have that might be relatively good, the ones that say they're green, all natural, and things like that, they're not likely essential oil infused. Some are, but like, what's the quality really? Because I've noticed that a lot of cleaners are starting to put essential oils, but not even talking about cleaners, we're talking about like supplements, right? If they're not essential oil infused, then your body's probably not assimilating even half of the product. It's time to use something that does better than that with essential oils in it. All right, so let's talk about playing with your oils a little bit here. Okay, so this is where, oops. Okay, this is where things really get fun. I'm going to take you far beyond the starting point. It doesn't have to be scary. I don't know. Have you ever felt scary about scary? Have you ever felt scared of using your oils? Like we were just talking today about with the Rev Up coaches about how so many people are just like, well, how many drops and where do I put it? And like all of the questions of which oil and what if I use the wrong oil or do I need a carrier with that? And all these questions. And you know what? It's a lot easier than it seems to be. It doesn't need to be scary. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to learn and do things fast. My goal is to give you passion and ideas for how to use them. So there's a history of essential oils, which we learned in the ancient oils of ancient scriptures class. It goes back millennia. There's a biblical precedent for their use. This was only stuff, this is stuff that was found in biblical times. They're like safe herbs and tinctures that were always used. Is it a fad? I had somebody tell me that he wouldn't let his wife get essential oils from me because she really needed them, wanted them. And he's like, it's just a fad. I'm like, yeah. It's a 6,000-year-old fad. It's been around for a long time. We just forgot how to use them. So we are bringing them back and fixing that. All right. So let's talk about we're not to the aromatic uses yet. Let's talk about some of these questions here. How often should I use oils? We kind of touched on this at the beginning. Every single day, as much as you can. So Jen O'Sullivan was one of my favorite aromatherapists. She's kind of gone off into another realm now, but she was really good at educating. And here's what she said: they should be viewed as any other wellness regimen upon which we embark. You don't brush your teeth or take a shower only when you feel like it. Well, okay, but we do it because we know we should, and we need to be clean, and that's taking care of our health, right? And so when you want results and overall wellness, you do something long term. There's a typo, sorry. And with deliberate dedication. This is how your essential oils should be used. They are nutrients for your body. You should be using them every day in every way that you can. So sometimes we just get kind of hung up on like, well, I don't know how to use them. Which ones do I use for what? And that's the learning process. A lot of people do have fear about oils, but it's really simple. The reason that there's fear is because we don't know what we're doing, right? Why is it, why is that? So there's a quote over here on the side from Jen O'Sullivan. She says actually, I'm going to give you the full quote. That's just a portion of the quote. So people have been using oils since the book of Genesis without direction. God made them pretty foolproof. And so here's the quote from Jen O'Sullivan. She said, today there are hundreds of thousands of people in, if not millions, using essential oils under their own supervision and without knowledge of or understanding of how or what they are using. However, these people using oils on a regular basis have one thing in common. There have been no major issues with people becoming sick or dying from their use. I did have people that were like, oh my gosh, those are dangerous. Oh, if you haven't run into them, you probably will. There are thousands and thousands of people using these oils all over the world and have been for centuries. So if you have any questions about that, come and talk to me. I can tell you a little more. But here's where some of that comes from. Continuing on with Jen's quote here. The alarmist mentality in the aromatherapy industry overall is unnecessary because people are using oils to raise their level of health, and they're doing it on their own. It seems as if the certified aromatherapists of the world are not too happy. And why should they be? Their would-be clients are self-diagnosing and self-treating with much success. We've seen the success. So don't have fear over oils. If the fear is like, what if they're new age? Because I had that in the beginning too, and that's okay. Because we just didn't know. We didn't grow up using essential oils. And so anything that was foreign and something we weren't familiar with must be, new age or something, but they're just plant oils. So, and you should go and listen to or watch the Oils of Ancient Scripture class. That'll cover all of that topic. So just get the oils on your body. And then, we'll talk a little more about how to do that. And then you're going to want to practice it, every single one of these methods, over the next couple of weeks, all of them that we talk about. So then you're going to be an expert. Okay, so I'm going to cover aromatic tips, and then we're going to wrap up with that and continue next week. So these will be pretty good. So you may have heard about top notes, middle notes, and base notes with essential oils. Have you heard of this yet? And been like, what are they talking about? That must be something kind of sciencey. Karan, a while ago, she said hippie oils. Yeah, yep, we've heard that before. Okay, so let's talk about what those are. Hi, Michael. I'm glad you're here. All right, so you can use your essential oil breathing straight from the bottle. So if you open the cap and you smell the bottle, it's going to smell different than when you diffuse it. Have you noticed this? Um, it smells different. And why is this? The diffuser doesn't break up the molecules, it keeps them intact. Each molecule is made of three different types of constituents. So diffuser, you drop them in, it disperses it and it doesn't break up the molecules. If you put it on and you're rubbing, then you may break up the molecules a little bit, so it smells a little bit different than otherwise. So the three different types of constituents that are in essential oils are the top notes, the middle notes, and the base notes. Sounds like music staff, right, Michael? He's a musical guy. The difference is between these three notes is volatility. So volatility doesn't mean that there's going to be an explosion or something's going to be in trouble or anything. It just means that the essential oil molecule, parts of the molecules and things are much smaller. So the volatile, like there are some oils that are more volatile, and this is why you'll see like I think it's like you can't ship them overseas. Tea tree oil is one of those. You can't ship it overseas because it's going to go on a plane, and the molecules are so tiny in it, the top notes, that they can escape the surface of the liquid much easier than some of the other heavier oils. That's what volatility is. It just means like if you set a bottle of peppermint on the table and somebody walks by, they're going to smell it. But if you set a bottle of frankincense in the middle of the table, most people are not going to pick up on it because it's not as volatile. It doesn't have as many top notes of essential oil that are able to break away from the surface. So that's volatility. So it rises into the air faster. So top notes, these are the ones that move the fastest. They're the ones that you're going to smell first, like we talked about peppermint. You're going to smell those top notes of the peppermint real quick, and you'll smell them right out of the bottle. Like as soon as you open it, you're going to smell that. And it also tends to be the sweetest. The top notes are the sweetest of the three smells. They almost act like a sugar rush, hitting the brain first and satisfying its desire for the smell. So I think I didn't forget, I was talking about tea tree and about how it can't be shipped overseas. So the top notes of that are so small that they can escape the liquid, and any volatile oil can be like flammable. And so that doesn't mean that it has like petroleum type product in it. It's just like any tiny molecules of anything that in a big amount can be flammable. Okay, so let's talk about the middle notes kind of go in between. They're between the top notes and the base notes. So if you put an oil on and you smell it, the first thing that's going to hit you are those top notes. And then you leave it on for a while, and then you'll start to smell the middle notes like, oh, it smells a little bit different now. Well, the base notes are the ones that have the most lasting therapeutic effect. Those are the ones that are out of the bottle last. They're like the hind milk from a nursing mom. And if you want the benefits of the base notes, but don't have time to diffuse, the best way to do that is to put a drop of oil in your hand. The oil will stay intact, and you'll get the top, the middle, and the base notes all together as one molecule. So you can just put it in your hand. You can also put it on your wrist, like just put it on your wrist and just leave it there to kind of absorb. And then you can smell it, wait for a while, smell it again, wait for a while, smell it again. And so you can smell the difference. It's pretty cool. Okay, let me get over here and switch the slide. Okay, hand cupping. Hand cupping is probably not quite what it sounds like it is. All it is opening the bottle and putting a drop in your hand, which is what we just mentioned. So you don't want to touch the orifice of orifice reducer, that's the little, the piece that kind of holds the oil in that you drop it out of, the silicone piece. So when you touch it, it's not that you're going to, that the oil can't kill the germs, but your body chemistry interacts with that. You leave oils like your body oils and cells, epithelial cells, dead skin cells on the reducer, and then over time it can contaminate your oil and lessen its result. So when your body chemistry interacts with the oil, then it can kind of, adjust it. It doesn't work in the same way. So that's why sometimes when we have classes, we pass around the oils, we're like, don't touch the top, just drop it out. So it's one thing to kind of keep in mind. So did you know that there's actually a method called 2-oil cupping? So the oil cupping is like what you see here in the picture, is where she's kind of got her hand cupped and she's putting oil in her hand. So I love reading through the science on this because it validated my raindrop training. So I was trained through it's called CARE, Center for Aromatherapy Research and Education. It's long word, so it's just CARE. So I had my raindrop training through them, and we're told to make a well in our hand, in the palm of our hand like this, and then dip our paintbrushes, so our fingers, we put our fingers together, and then we move around the palm of our hand with the tips of our fingers in a clockwise motion, like 3 times or whatever. So this is kind of interesting. It may sound a little bit weird, but there's more to it. But first, I mentioned raindrop. Let me tell you a little about that because people have questions. It's a series of oils that we apply to the feet and the spine. And we use a technique called VitaFlex technique. And I'll teach on raindrop in a few weeks after we get finished with this topic. And it's designed to get oils deep into the body by placing them right at the nerve endings and shooting them up the feet and the spine. Okay, so going back, you place 2 to 3 drops of the oil in the palm of your non-dominant hand, flatten your hand, your fingers together, and then take your other hand and rotate the oils clockwise. By doing this, and this is what we learned from Gary, you are getting the molecules spinning when you do that. You know that the shape of the DNA is a double helix, sort of like a ladder. And when you spin the oils in that direction as they enter your body, then they can shoot right up the DNA. So it allows the oils to enter your system faster because they're following your body's cellular makeup. This is also discussed in a book that I had to study. It was called Chemistry of Essential Oils Made Simple. And a chemist wrote this book and talked about how this works with the DNA. It's just like getting it rolling in the right direction. So it just goes right up. On a side note, first you'll once you do that, you're gonna rub the oils anywhere you like. But on a side note, don't wash your hands because you don't want to wash off the goodness, right? It's like opening your bottle and dumping it down your sink. So don't waste it. The oil will absorb into your skin almost immediately without any greasy residue, so you don't have to wash it off. My favorite place to rub my leftover oils is on the insides of my ears, inside and back of my ears here. That's an emotional point where there are a lot of nerves that lead to the brain. I also rub it on the bottom of my feet. The pores are large there, absorbs right into the bloodstream. Or I'll put it on the back of my neck to hit my spine. And just about everything, everything goes through the spine. So you're hitting a lot of points on the body by placing it at the nape of your neck. Whenever I get a headache, that's where I place the oils there. Well, usually like a tension headache is in the back of your head. Okay, what about diffuser jewelry? Okay, so I have let me tell you about this, and I have some diffuser jewelry to give away. So, and also for anybody, well, I don't know who is on Facebook Live right now. I see it shows like one person is watching, so I'm not quite sure. If you're on Facebook Live right now, make a comment and say I'm still here. So that way I can include you in the drawing. So diffuser jewelry can be, this one's pretty straightforward. It doesn't have to require a lot of bells and whistles with this. Just buy a piece of jewelry that you like, coat it in oils, and smell it through the day. So For jewelry, I can give you one tip. Some substances hold the oil better than others, and that's what I have listed here. Untreated wood, so like wooden beads. There's some things you can hang up in the car that are beads and stuff. Leather absorbs oils pretty well, so like leather bracelets and stuff. Cork is also very good. Felt, lava stones, so that's what these bracelets are. The black ones are lava stones. And then you just put the oil on to those, it absorbs in and it'll hold them for like 4 to 8 hours. So you can just keep smelling it right off of there. There are essential oil diffuser earrings. There's necklaces like charms. You can find them on Amazon, find them on Etsy. There's all kinds of diffuser jewelry. So since I have been talking so much, we're going to go ahead and do a giveaway before we get to the end here. Okay. Stacy is like, it's me. I'm on Facebook. I'm the one that's here. All right. I have a bag full. I gave Karan one of these already. I have a bag full of more diffuser jewelry. So, let's see. Karan got one and I'm not sure if she's still here. Deborah, Leslie, Charlie, and Stacy. Okay. We don't even have to do a drawing. I'm just going to give them to you. So let me write these down. I will mail these to you. Leslie, I know I have your address. So these are the ones that were in the picture. They have the rainbow beads here. And now, and those, they represent chakras, like it's the chakra bracelet. If you don't like chakras, just, not a big deal. Chakras are just nerve bundles that are concentrated in different parts of your body. And there's science behind it, but I know that can be kind of hokey for some people. But these are the lava beads here. And so you'll just open up your bottle and drop it right onto those beads. So Leslie, Debbie, Charlie, and Stacy. And then if there's anyone else, I have one more bracelet. Okay. So how are you doing so far? Are you okay? I know we did a lot of reviewing of stuff. Everyone all right? Aw, Leslie says, I love rainbows. Okay, Charlie, you're doing great. All right. I know it can get a little bit tedious here. Oh, let's see. Debbie, I'm just seeing your message. It says, so if we shouldn't touch the silicone top, then why do Young Living have roller bottles? Roller bottles are a little bit different because it is the roller that usually, like whenever it rolls into like the edge, when it rolls into the edge, it can scrape off epithelial cells. They're small and they're large enough. And even our body oils, they're large enough molecules where it just scrapes it right off. So that's a good question though. Oh, you've been wanting diffuser jewelry. That's great. There's so many different diffuser jewelry ideas that you can look at on Etsy. I love how people make those. Okay. All right, Stacy, woohoo, thank you. You're welcome. All right, so let's go ahead and continue this. We'll move on past diffuser jewelry. How are we doing on time? We're at 7 o'clock. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna, that's why I was like, we need to continue later. All right, so let's talk about spritzers. Here we go. Okay, now this falls under DIY, do-it-yourself stuff. I'm not a big DIYer. I used to be. Stacy's known me long enough to go, wait, what? You don't like DIY? No, I do like DIY, but I guess in my older age, I've just gotten like, it's too tedious. I don't want to buy all the stuff. And, when I can just get something somewhere else. But spritzers are actually one thing I do like. They're super easy. They make great gifts. When Wendy Clayton, for those of you that are here in the San Antonio area, when she does a DIY class, it is like the best. She is such a good DIYer. She has everything laid out perfectly organized, all the supplies you need, little list of like exactly what to put in and stuff. So hers are the best. She does those usually before December. So if you have gift giving to do November, December, then you can go over there and make that stuff and just like take advantage of all the work that she has done. Maybe give her a tip because she puts so much into those and she usually doesn't make anything off of it. So So time really is a limiting factor for me, but these are pretty easy. I like to put my oils in glass bottles. So this, you can get these on Amazon, the best place to get these. You can get 2-ounce bottles, 4-ounce bottles, 8-ounce, and just they're like spritzers or atomizers, the fine mist ones. But this size, they're all going to be fine. You don't have to figure out, well, is it an atomizer or not? Is it fine mist? They're all good. So you'll get, when I do a search for them, I'll be like 2-ounce spray bottle essential oils, and you'll get all these ideas. So make sure that it has colored glass. This one is an amber color. You can get, if you put it in plastic, I mean, it's okay, but the plastic with the water and the oil, it will start to leach that plastic. It'll start to change the color of the bottle, but it absorbs the plastic into what you're spraying. And it's not so great. I prefer to use these glass bottles, and the glass, the colored glass protects the oil, the essential oil, for its therapeutic value, because otherwise it'll just, okay, it'll just start to break down the molecules, the bonds of the molecules and stuff. So, so you can get like, there's cobalt blue, there's green, there's some pretty like unicorn pink or whatever. There's all different colors. Just don't get clear, because the colors protect the oils from the sunlight, and you know, they don't break down so quickly. So let's see. Okay, favorite place to order supplies. So Amazon for, you know, getting your bottles. And then there are, for those of you that love DIY stuff, if you're going to teach a class doing this, then there are other places. You can get some things in bulk on Amazon. There's another one called glassbottleoutlet.com, and it has inexpensive supplies like that. There's another one called Bulk Apothecary. So you can look those up and find some of those if you like to do those things together. Some people really love it, and you get together with the ladies and you get to have, you know, crafty time. And I love crafts. It's just I'm limited. I have like one project. So there are also books that have all kinds of recipes, DIY ideas. There's one called Oil Plus Glass that's a really good one that you can get. It's by Yael Marmar and Johanna Katz, probably Johanna, but with a J. So these you can find them on Amazon. There are some Young Living places that you can look to, like Young Living dedicated websites that you can look on. If you have questions about that, just message me and let me know, or post in the comments and say, you know, can you post a link or something, and I'll get that for you. So also another lady, Erin Rogers, she is a Royal Crown Diamond, and she does have a website called the Oil Supply Store. You can usually Google that and find it. And she has some little bottles with labels on them. Welcome kits are really cool that she has. So if you have members that you're signing up, then you can get those welcome kits, like just order it and have it shipped right to them. That's pretty cool. So you don't have to reinvent the wheel and figure out these different oil blends. You just can go look that up and find it. One of the simplest things that I do is Young Living already has really great blends of oils. And if I want to put them in a spritzer, I just find the blend that I like. Abundance is a great one, and it's super heavy. Has like really a lot of deep notes in it. And you can just put like a few drops, about 10 drops in a 2-ounce bottle like I have here, and the rest with water. If you put water in it, you have to shake it up before you spritz it. And so if you use witch hazel or grain alcohol, then it disperses the oil. And the witch hazel or grain alcohol also, like, it evaporates more quickly. Yeah, like the stuff you drink, Leslie. So vodka, yeah, a good vodka. But if you, you know, if you have kids around that are like, wait, it's vodka, and they want to drink it, you know, you use your best judgment there. Sure, Leslie, on the bracelet. Yeah, we can do so. I have no idea how much they were. I'd have to go look it up. All right, so so the 2 ounces, you can get 4-ounce bottles and just double this. If you get an 8-ounce bottle, then quadruple it. So it's really easy. Throat spray, yes, it's a good throat spray. If you want to use thieves oil and put it in with grain alcohol would be good. And then you can spray it in the throat. It's a really good throat spray. Okay, so yeah, as far as like so many people are like, but how many exact drops do I need of vanilla and orange? Just use your nose, put them together, smell them. And if you're like, once you make it, if it doesn't smell like you can smell the oils that you put in it well enough, then just add more of that. Oh, and we have vanilla oil since I mentioned that. Vanilla oil it changes everything. Like it gives you so many different things. You put vanilla and peppermint together, then you have like peppermint patty. You put vanilla and orange together, then you have like the dreamsicle. It just makes everything smell so, so good. So use your vanilla in it. I think we have a blending class that we will do at some point in the future. So that might be kind of fun. Okay. I have one more tip that I'm going to give you tonight, and then we're going to shut it down for this evening. Aromatic tips in cleaning and fresheners. There was, okay, my screen just freaked out. I hope are y'all still seeing the picture with the bucket and everything there? Yeah, it looks like it. I see it on Facebook Live. Okay, so your cleaners. This kit right here is such a great kit. It's called the Thieves Home Cleaning Kit. And it actually comes with that beautiful, everybody loves the bucket. It's really nice. So it comes with that bucket. They bundled this together and it has oils with it. So you can add the oils, like if you're going to mop the floors, then you put your thieves cleaner in there, like what you're going to do for your mopping, and then you can put some oils in there to add to it. You can also do this like when you make your general spray cleaner. I have one that I made in the fall that's going to last for a while, and it has all of the like the clove, like all the free oils we were getting in the fall. The clove, the orange, the nutmeg, and just like it has that kind of fall spice smell. And it's really good. So even though Thieves already has a Thieves fragrance, you can add oils to it to just get a really nice fragrance there. And it has other benefits too. So you see this large spray bottle here. You can also get those on Amazon. This one has the nice label on it that says Young Living. You can get these bottles and then go to Etsy and find labels. Or if you're super creative and you have like a Cricut or something, then you can make labels to put on the side yourself. I've also seen, what are they like? Koozies. They're like, they fit those bottles like spray bottle koozies. So that way, if you're worried about dropping it and breaking the glass, then you can just have that on there. And sometimes those are labeled nicely too. So this is the bucket, the Thieves cleaner, the spray bottle, and then the oils that are in there are Pine Thieves Purification. So purification is good for deodorizing, lemon and citrus oils. And then if you want to, like if you're going to mop, maybe pine and lemon together would be really good. Maybe citrus fresh on the kitchen and bathroom counters for your general cleaner. And then Thieves, like Thieves everywhere. All right. So we are going to continue this next week. And I'm going to answer some of your questions here about oils that, like how to use some of these oils. So first of all, let me see if I have, if you don't have an essential oil pocket reference or desk reference, and why isn't mine right here? I must have walked off with it. Okay. The essential oil desk reference or pocket reference you can get on the Young Living website. It is called, what is it called? Seeds of Time. Let's see if I can get you the link. Yeah, it's Seeds, SEEDSOF, Time, THYME.com. So Seeds of Time. Go there and get you an essential oil pocket reference. If you can get a desk reference, even better, because it's a nice big book and it does have more information in it. And you can look up all of these oils and see what they're used for, what they were used historically for. And there are things in there that, you know, you can't say online because they're not compliant, but there's a lot of good information there. So frankincense, since I don't have the book with me, I'll just tell you from what I know. Frankincense is used for mood. It's really, really good for balancing emotions. It's an emotional oil. It's also really good for everything skin. So, bumps and bruises, it's great for that. Just calming things going on with your skin. A lot of people put a drop of frankincense in their facial lotion, like their night cream, put a drop in there and put it on. It helps to reduce fine lines. What else? In ancient Egyptian documentation, it says that frankincense is good from everything from gout to a broken head. So I thought that's just stuck with me. I just thought that was hilarious. So you can use it on so much. So how do you use it for mood? You can remember the brainstem is the back of your neck right at the hairline and the spine. Okay. So that's anything you want to affect here, you apply there. Gary Young used to use a bottle of frankincense every day. So I heard he would open the orifice and dump the whole thing on. So he was one of the most empathetic humans I have ever met. So I can imagine how being around a lot of people could just, just feeling all of what's going on can be challenging. And he was a very compassionate guy. So thieves, okay, so how do you use your thieves? The first use that I did with thieves was applying it to the bottom of my kids' feet to help their immune system, kind of like we used to call it our force field. Put it on the bottom of their feet before they go to school. And we homeschooled, but we had tons of activities we did all the time. So it would put up their force field. And so they were just like, yeah. So the thieves is good for that. We talked about thieves and a spritzer for your throat. If you have a sore throat, that is excellent. It has clove oil in it and it numbs, and then it helps to break things down that shouldn't be there. So that's another use for that. I've used thieves for like pain inside, like you can put it here. My daughter used it whenever she had her wisdom teeth taken out, and she would just put it around the sides, to help keep everything. We didn't use antibiotics, which is kind of a common thing. Everybody uses antibiotics. So there's so many uses for thieves. You can breathe it in. You can even apply it with some olive oil or coconut oil to the chest, and that helps with respiratory stuff. You can use RC and Raven too, but Thieves is the story of Thieves. If you don't know the story of Thieves, go back to one of the Core 5 classes. Oh, it's the Thieves Core 5 class. It's the second one. Okay, LME, from what I know of LME, that'll take a little bit of research. LME is good for the skin. So I think people use that also like as part of their skincare regimen, and it helps with youthful appearance. So that may take a little bit more research, but go look in your book. Oregano is, okay, if I didn't want to use antibiotics, I might try to use oregano to help support my body's ability to fight off things. Okay, so you can put oregano in gel caps and swallow them. Those are very effective. One of the uses for oregano that I used it for was I mixed oregano and frankincense half and half, put it in a bottle because I had something weird growing right here that was growing quickly. It was dark, it was itchy right around the edges. And I was like, oh no, this is not good. And we didn't have health insurance at the time. And so I mixed frankincense and oregano 50-50. And if you go do some research on why frankincense for weird skin things, and you'll learn a lot. Go on pubmed.org or no, pubmed.gov and do some research there. Frankincense plus, you know what I'm talking about. So I mixed that and I just stuck it in my pocket. Every time I thought about it, I put it on that spot. And in a week, it had scabbed up and it just fell right off. And it was completely clear skin. It has never come back. So there's some good uses for that. And there's other things. So any like weird, hard to get rid of skin things. Oregano is super hot oil though. Okay. You don't want to get that in your eyes. You don't want to put it on like sensitive areas. Your neck kind of has sensitive skin. Because it'll make it very red. So you need to use a carrier oil with that. So there are many different uses for that. Go look all of them up in your pocket reference or desk reference and let us know what you find in the Strictly EO group, probably not posting online publicly. Okay. All right. Well, is anybody left here with me? We have everybody on radio silence on the Zoom. And I think Stacy is still with us here. Melody dropped in briefly. And I will, yes, Leslie, I'll let you know about sending you a second bracelet so you can give one to your friends. And we'll get all of those out hopefully this week. I take a while to get things mailed sometimes, but I've got everything put together here. It might be more quick. All right, anybody have questions? That was an hour and 20 minutes. This is probably a little bit more review than necessary, but I thought it was good. All right. Well, so I'll see you next week, and we will continue a little bit. We'll start talking about diffusers and then other uses for your products. So just go ahead and bring your oils and things back next week, and we will continue to use them. So for this whole week, all the uses that we talked about with those aromatic uses, start using all of your oils that way and see what you think. Find out more about your oils. All right, you're welcome, Debbie. I'm glad you got to be here. And Leslie, glad to see you. All right, have a good night. Oh, thank you, Stacy.